What's going on, everybody? It is your man Cleveland Terry, and today I want to briefly talk a little bit about my experience using the CDJ 3000s, the brand new flagship CDJs from Pioneer DJ. One of the reasons why I even have these CDJs is because of the recent update to Serato DJ, which gave you the ability to use the HID mode for the CDJ 3000s. A huge deal because Serato was the last company to actually provide an HID mode. Everybody else, including Rekordbox in their performance mode, and DJ and virtual DJ, all had HID mode as an option. So we were really happy when Serato came out with theirs. Is it good? It does the job, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute, but I want to talk a little bit about the hardware of the system, because I know it's been a little bit controversial. Some people like it, some people don't, some people wish it had more, some people are fine with it the way they are. So I will say right off the bat that this isn't a comparison video. This isn't me trying to compare it to Denon and what it does or doesn't do versus. This video is about talking about the CDJ 3000s, and I'm gonna tell you, I am very, very impressed by them. But I'm not really a CDJ guy. If I'm at a club, they ask me what I want, I typically tell them turntables. But these right here, I can see why people like the CDJs, and I can see why people especially like the 3000s. The attention to detail on these players is second to none. The quality, the craftsmanship is very, very good. I can see why this is considered the flagship. Now, some people did not like the button placements. They wanted them to be down here. They didn't like them up here. And I'm gonna tell you, I didn't have a problem with it. I actually find that the buttons seem to make sense right here. I know it seems weird because if you're looking at any controller, typically the buttons are down here, but maybe because the display is right here, it's just kind of an easy one-to-one movement. But I do like the buttons being placed there. I also love the most important part of the CDJs is the amazingly clear screen. This guy right here is one of the best screens that I have used personally. And it might look a little washed out right now, so I'm gonna cut this off here so you can see. But the detail, the screens, they're very, very clear. The frame rate is nice and clean. You're not seeing any weird stutters. It's great. The timer, the BPM, and these super large displays, it makes it really, really easy to use. What I also like about this display is the sensitivity of the screen. It's a very good screen. It has very good response rate, and it just kind of flows through, makes it really easy to use. All the things are right here, and it does some things that I like. For instance, it has the ability to use subfolders. This is a great feature, and I'm glad that that's in here because it makes it really simple to get into your folders, and it breaks it down so it's easy for you to see. So my subfolder for this Callahan event, here are my playlists right here in the subfolder. Once I click on the folder, it actually lists them on the left side, so it's easy to jump around if I wanted to. Along with the great touchscreen, you have all of your menu items here, your playlist, your history, the ability to see your history for anything you've done here. And also on the history, you can click in on the history and actually play that exact playlist that you played before. The search function is here. The keyboard is good, very responsive. I do wish that the space button was down here because it adds an extra movement to move over to here, but neither here nor there. There's a cat lady, and then load, and we're loaded in, we're ready to go. Now, also, if you guys use CDJs, you know that if you attach an Ethernet cord, you'll only need to use one storage medium and they will both see it. Got the one thumb drive right there, and then of course, I can load up my thumb drive. And the same thing, go to my playlist, I'm in the same folder, and that's it. As far as the buttons are concerned, they're buttons, they're not pads. So there is a click that you have to get through in order to make them work, but they are very responsive and they are quick to jump to whatever you need. I'm not going to get into the details of the actual controller because we all know it does everything else that a CDJ would. You got your standard controls. You can do your typical things, for instance, doing your loops, and you have your slip roll. Your third. And you have your beat jumps as you do on anything else. You got your tag list, you got your playlist, you got your browse, and then you have your menu. We're not going to do any of that. Everything is pretty good on this thing. And the other thing you're probably going to ask is, how is the scratching? These are some of the best feeling jogs I've ever used. They're clean. I like the grip on the display. It's got a nice grip. But we probably should see how they are in HID mode because I know that's a big deal for a lot of people. So let's move over to HID mode and let's change the source to control mode. Deck 2. Same with this guy. Control mode. Yeah. Deck 1. Now, as far as HID mode is concerned, it's exactly what you'd think. They play exactly the way they should in Serato as they do on here. The one thing that I have issue with is on the display when you're going into your folders. So let's say I go to my Check 1 2 folder. I know that there are subfolders in here. So when I click on it to bring me to my subfolders, it gives me everything, but there's no way for me to select the subfolders. But here's the weird thing about this. Let me go back. If I click on my Check 1 2 folder in Serato and I click on a folder, let's say old current hits, it opens up. So now I have all of my subfolders right here. These are all of my subfolders. So that's a little weird for me, and hopefully they can fix that in a future update because it's the one thing that prevents me from using the screen as kind of the end all for HID mode. It doesn't work like this in the USB thumb drives. It's only for HID mode and maybe even just for Serato. I haven't tested it in every single software, but for me, that's a problem. So that means I always have to move over and then click on there to be able to access the rest of the stuff. Besides that, it's an amazing system. And every time I use it, I enjoy using it. And would it stop me from using turntables? No, but knowing that these are available, if they said, hey, I have CDJ 3000s, I'd be completely fine in being able to use it. Now, they do work in HID mode in Serato, Rekordbox, Virtual DJ, all those things are available to you. So you can decide which one is best for you. For me, I think these are great pieces of equipment. And if you were looking at something like this, hey, you'd be in a really good place if you own them. Are they very expensive for your average person? Absolutely, but they're still amazing. So if you're in the market for CDJ 3000s and you're looking for the best of the best coming out of Pioneer DJ, look no further than these guys. All right, guys, if you found what I said useful, hit that like button. If you found what I said really useful, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow me on the Instagrams and the Twitters. Get on my Discord. That's where we're talking about all things Cleveland Terry. Guys, girls, always a pleasure. If I don't talk to you later, we'll talk soon. Peace.